Well, good morning. Another day here at Air Cool Performance, and since the last video, we've went ahead and tore this down. My son Vincent came over here and helped me tear the thing down a little bit, so we can kind of show you what we found and where we are so far with everything. One of the realizations that we come across was, we were saying that this is an EL motor. It's a 61-inch. And one of the signs for that is on your EL motors, they have a different bore and stroke than the 74s. Your EL is going to have, I don't know, somewhere, I think it's 3 5/16 on the bore and 3.5 on the stroke, whereas your 74s has got almost a 4-inch stroke. They've got like a 3 31/32 and a 3 7/16 bore. Now, the thing to notice is all your knuckle cylinders from about, I think 1940 and later, I think after 40, they all have the 5 fins here on the cylinder. They all have 5 fins where the bolt goes through. I think 39 and earlier had 4 fins here. I believe that's right. But anyway, another big thing on a 74 is you see this lip right here. This is the fire ring. This is where, when your head gasket's on there, it nests right there against that fire ring. And 74s don't have this ring. Reason being, because of the extra stroke that they have. If you had this fire ring on top of their cylinders, you'd never be able to get the heads on the bike with it in the motorcycle. So your 74 cylinders don't have this fire ring. And then another thing that we noticed is on the pistons, the pistons, these are 74 pistons. And one of the ways that you tell that is the difference between the pinhole and the crown of the piston up here on a 74 is shorter. On a 61, it's longer. And also, the 74 pistons, they use a spiral lock piston pin keeper, whereas on your 61s, there's kind of like a 45, they use that outside split lock. Even with that being said, this motor's been together a while, because if you can see right here, it has the one-piece oil control ring. Most of your modern rings, you have you have your center ring, and then you've got your 2 scrapers that go on with this. This does have an internal expander that keeps that ring out, but that's a single oil control ring. That's old school there, dude. And like I said, it's got the spiral lock keepers, which those are great. They're a pain in the butt to put in and take out. Well, so are the split keys on the 61s, but as soon as you see this, you know automatically this ain't a 61. So we go over here to the cylinder, and what somebody's done, if you can see how thin that fire ring is, they have bored, and the pistons are 10 over 74, so they've took 135 plus thousandths out of this bore to make this 61-inch cylinder work with these 74 pistons. Now, what you'll also notice in here, if you can see, there's a discoloration right in between here and here. If you can see that, and what that actually is, there's a groove, there's a lip you can feel. And the reason being is because of the short stroke of the 61, when you use these pistons, they don't come all the way up in the cylinder. And so that was another thing. As soon as we took the heads off and we turned the motor over, the pistons were way down in the cylinder, and that tells me immediately that, plus seeing that this has been machined, that somebody's decided to put 74 pistons and stuff in this motor. And, that don't hurt nothing to say, but it's not the way I'd have done it. And in my opinion, they've ruined them cylinders. The only way to save them is to sleeve them and to bring them back, and that's probably what I'll end up doing. But I've got another set of 61s that I'm going to use, so I may just back burner that for a while, because it's expensive to have a cylinder sleeve. You're talking about, by the time I use LA sleeve, by the time you send it out there and have it done, you're looking at about $300 a cylinder. But I will say this, a re-sleeved original cylinder is much better than these Taiwan pieces of junk that you can get, and you can quote me on that. So anyway, if I didn't have another set of cylinders, I would have these sleeved. That being said too, here's the piston pin, and these pins are like 791 thousandths across through here, and checking this with Mike, there's not even a half a thousandths variation here in the wear pattern or whatever, so that's pretty good. But where we have the problem is when you go up here in the rod. Of course, we knew the rods need to be rebuilt anyway. For those of you wondering, yep, they're loose. The female rods is loose, so it's got to come apart and be rebuilt anyway. But if you can see this movement in there, this is fine this way. You want a slip fit, but you don't want this rock. I don't know if you can see that. But anyway, it's got a pretty serious sound to it, so we're going to have to put new ends, new bushings in the small end, and so on and so forth. So that's where we're at with that. And the cam here, if you can see the pitting in the lobes on the cam. And you got to remember now, this is almost 75-year-old motorcycle, and you can see the pitting on the lobes. And also, if you look here at the tappets, you can see the wear pattern, and they've actually got a little burr, a lip right here. So what happens with that is this stuff is case hardened, and once you get through the case on it, then you start seeing the pitting and so on and so forth like that, and you see this wear pattern. So once you get through the case on this stuff, then it gets to the point to where you're in the soft metal. And so we're going to have to go, this stuff would probably run okay for a while, but that's not where I'm at with it. So I'm going to replace the cam and the tappets. I've got a sifting, I'm a big sifting fan, and so is my dad. So I've got a sifting cam that's in good shape that I'm going to put in it. And I've got another set of tappets I've been rat holing back for a million years I'm going to break out and use. But you can see from the inside of the cam case in there, it's been together for a while. But the beauty of that is, like in the cam bushing, and then these bushings here in the cam cover, all this stuff, usually you'll feel a lip here or a lip right here from where they've been normally put together too tight. All that's in pretty good shape. The oil pump is over here. Took it apart, and it's got some wear, but surprisingly it's in good shape. And somebody used a homemade gasket on there. I could still read the print off of it, off a piece of paper. But anyway, the whole thing's been together for a while, so she just needs some more attention, and we're going to make sure that she gets that. And so that's where we are right now. So I just wanted to bring you up to speed with that, and hope you like this. I know it's a little bit long, but you know, there's a lot going on. So anyway, that's where we are right now, and appreciate you watching. Hope you enjoy it. And air-cooled performance, we keep your stuff running. And we would have been done a lot sooner with this, getting this to you, but man, it's been so hot down here that it's just, I mean, it's hotter than two love-struck mice in a wool sock, if you know what I'm saying. So it's starting to cool off a little bit, so that's why we was able to get back out here and do some of this stuff. So anyway, again, air-cooled performance, we keep your stuff running. Thank you.